What's up guys, Learning with Rich here. In this video, we are going to learn how to create shared parameters. Okay, so I'm going to create a new project here. I'll be using structural template for this exercise and then I'll select here OK. Alright, so now on my level 2, I'll go to the structure and then I'll click the beam here. And then from the properties, I'll go to concrete rectangular beam. I create 300 by 600 here. Okay, and then I'll create another 400 by 800. So I create another one there. Okay, so if I go to the 3D view, so here's the 3D view. Okay, and then change my detail level to fine. Visual style to shaded. So I'm gonna click one of the beam here, like the 400 by 800. So I go to the edit type. So if you click this, it will open up the type properties. Okay, right. So here on the type properties of this beam, so there's this parameter under dimensions that is named B and H. Okay, so that's the parameter. So B. So that's the B, and then 800. So that's 800. Okay, so if I change this to, let's say, 200, and then if I select here apply, so as you can see, it will make that 200. Okay, so 400, apply. So let's say the H here, I'm gonna make 1000. So I'm just showing you that this is how that parameters works. Okay, so let me just put that back again to 800. Now, what I wanted to do is I want to create a schedule that will show these two parameters here, BH. Okay, so to create a schedule, so you just need to go to the project browser and then you can expand the schedule quantities here to see that there's a default schedule here. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a new schedule. So by right clicking and then selecting new schedule quantities, so just click that and then I'll be creating a framing schedule because the category of this is frame. Okay, so let's go to framing, structural framing, sorry. So it should be structural framing. That one, then just put a name here and then just select OK. Now you need to add here the fields that you would like to appear on your schedule. So like for example, the family type. I'll just remove the family here. Just double click and then it will be removed here from the scheduled field. Just double click. Okay, so I want also to include the length. Okay, so there is no B parameter here, right? And then if you look for the H parameter, there's no H parameter. Okay, there's no H. So if I change the select available fields from, like structural material, so there's no B and H here. There's no B parameter and H parameter because that's for structural material. So how about analytical? So there's no there's no B and H parameter as well on analytical. So member section shape. So there's no BH parameter. Member forces, nothing there. Project info, nothing there. Okay, so now how are we going to add the parameter B and H of our structural framing to our scheduled fields? Because I want that to be checked as well. Okay, so I want to monitor that one for some reason. Okay, now I'm just going to select here OK to finish up my schedule. So as you can see, I select OK and then that's the schedule, right? Okay, so what I want here is I want to add the B and H parameter. But the problem is it's not showing on the available fields list. So now for you to be able to add those parameters to your schedule, so what you need to do is you need to create a shared parameter. Okay? Because this is what we want, right? So if I click this, properties, edit type, you want this B and H parameter values to be added to your schedule. But the problem is here on your schedule, if you edit the field, nothing is there. There's no H and there's no B parameter. So what we are going to do, we're going to create a shared parameter. So how to create a shared parameter? Shared parameter, you can, this is, okay, so where's the shared parameter? So let me just share it to you. So let's go to manage. And then here you can see shared parameters. Okay, so it specifies parameters that can be used in multiple families and projects. Okay, so you can use these parameters to different projects compared to your project parameters. Okay, so that's the difference. So project parameters cannot be shared with other projects or families. So to create shared parameters, you need to create shared parameters. Okay, you need to use this tool, shared parameter, so that you will be able to share these parameters to another project. Okay, that doesn't have that parameter. So let's create a shared parameter. So I'm going to select shared parameter. All right, and then after that, here on the shared parameter, it's nothing here. So you need to create a new parameter. Okay, so let's create a new one. And then I'll just put it here on my documents. And then I'll create a folder here. And then name it company shared parameters. Parameters. Enter. Double click to open. And then just put a name here. Okay, so this is my AB company shared parameters. So that will gonna be the name of that text file because shared parameter is a text file. Okay, you need to put a name there, and then after that, just select save here. Select save, and then there you go. So you just created now your text file. Now the next thing that you need to do, you need to create a new group. Okay, there's no other option here. So you need to create first a group. So the group that we will be creating here is parameter for our structural project. So that's why logically I'm going to name the group structure or structural. Okay, so you need to put a logical name for your parameter group. Okay, so for this one, this is for structural. So I'll just select here, okay. All right, and then that's the time the new parameter here will appear. So I just select new here and then just put a name here. So I'm going to call this B. Okay, and then the discipline will gonna be common. Data type is length. All right, so I just select here, okay. So that's my B parameter. I'll create a new one. So new, this one is H, and then data length, data type is length. That's fine. So I'll select here, okay. All right, so I now have these two parameters. So I'm gonna select here, okay, and there you go. All right, so I just created now a parameter. Now what I'm gonna do here is from my manage tab, I'll go to project parameters. Okay, so let's go to project parameters now because we are going to apply the shared parameter that we created. So let's go to project parameters. Okay, and then after that, okay, so I'll just cancel this one, not that way. So I'm going to edit the family. Okay, so I'm going to select the family. So I select this one, my structural framing, and then there's a family there, right? So let's select edit family. So let's go back to our project and then select edit family. So it will open up the family editor. So this is the family editor. So here on the family editor, click this family types, click that one, and then you will see there the parameter B and H, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to edit this. So I'm going to select this, and then that's B, right? So I'm going to select here this edit tool, that pencil, click that one, and then I'm going to select here shared parameter. Okay, so shared parameter, and then we're going to select, I'm going to select B, and then I select here, okay, so that's our shared parameter, right? B, okay, there you go. So it's still on the type parameter, I'll just select here, okay. All right, so it's now edited. So I'm going to select now the H this time. So select H, because this is just a normal parameter, so we need to replace it by the shared parameter. So edit parameter, click that, and then shared parameter, and then select H, and then okay, and then okay. There you go. So we already replaced the original one with the shared parameter, and then I'll just select here okay. After that, I'm going to load this into project. Load into project. Okay, and then I'm going to overwrite the existing version. So let's click that one. All right. Okay, so if I click this, any of the beam here, say this one, edit type. So there's still the B parameter, right? So if I change this to 600, it still works, right? But this is already shared parameter. So it will now be reflected to your, it will now becomes available to your available fields list on your schedule. So let's try this one out. Okay, how about I make this 800? So it's working, right? Okay, so now let's go to our project browser. Let's go to our schedule here. Let's double click that. And then let us now go to properties. Let's now edit the fields. And we should now be able to see the B and H here. So I can now double click that to add. So there you go. So you are now able to add the B and H by creating a shared parameter. There you go. And then I'll select here okay. And there you go. So there's now your B, your H, and there you go. All right, so that's it for this exercise. So hopefully you learned something from this video. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.